Hey folks, Dr. D here. So today and for the next couple days, we're going to be working on the front end. So I'm going to be replacing the brakes, the rotors, the pads, and the caliper, soft line, hard line. We're also going to be replacing the ball joints, upper and lower. We're going to be adding in the dust shield for the brakes because they were long gone. And we may wind up actually dropping the axle to do a little bit of work on the upper control arms because I can't get to the bushings. So that's what we're doing. So what I have here, I also have the wheel off, tire off. I also borrowed my friend's air compressor socket and was able to zip the hub nut off. This was very hard to get off. I was at the end of my breaker bar. I couldn't budge it, so he lent me his tool and it zipped right off, and I'm very jealous. So what I have to do now, obviously I'm taking off the caliper. That's going to come off. I already have the caliper bolts out. Pull this off, and then we'll just put it over the side. Take off the rotor, and then we will begin undoing. There are three 12-point bolts that hold the hub on. We're taking that off too and replacing it. So let me get set up and I will remove the caliper and we'll get started on that. All right, folks, that's all the bolts there. So our next order of business is to, well, in the Northeast, basically take something heavy and just beat the heck out of this thing until it separates. The hub is this piece here, this bit here, and that will separate free from here. It's just rust welded on there. And then after that, we will examine what the internal axle looks like. Take off these castle nuts at the top and the bottom. I'm actually waiting on this. I don't have a socket that size. The last time I did this, I had to hit it with a back of a 4-pound axe. Catch you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Hey folks, Dr. D here. So we are on the passenger side of the 97 Cherokee. We're going to be taking off the knuckle. First thing we need to do, there are two cotter pins here, and there are two bolts, or rather nuts, on the ball joints. They are 7/8 on the top, it's a little one, and the one on the bottom is a 1 1/8. The size that I did not have until yesterday. So after we get the cotter pins out and the nuts off, I'll be using a pickle fork. I'm going to drive it into the top here, and that should release it all the way. I usually want to keep the bottom castle nut loosely attached, so when I do, when it breaks free, it's not going to drop and make a mess. All right, I'm going to start in now on the one on the top. It's a 7/8. Just got a breaker bar in there, and break it off as best we can. So I think we're gonna have to pull this out so that we can get this guy out of here. All right, slide it right there. All right, we'll put that. Alright, so that's broken. Get it off. Life is good. Broken. Nice. Okay, so we can take this off. On the bottom one, same deal. But we got this big old 1 1/8. Hey, I finally got the miserable cotter pin out of the bottom castle nut. It was it's a stupid adventure. Anyway, now I can get back to trying to get the castle nut off. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, I'm gonna cook it again. See if we can make this thing happy. Probably good enough for now. Alright folks, we got it. Oof, what a treat. Alright, so take this off. I'm just going to put it on a couple screws. Alright, just a couple threads deep so that when I pickle fork this off, it doesn't get slammed to the ground. Okay, so on the pickle fork and my trusty orange mallet here. So what I found, you just sink this in here. It should pop loose pretty free. You do have to kind of beat it a lot. There we go, and we're off. There we go, folks. And our knuckle is off. That's what I was talking about. This happened last time too. The pickle fork just gets jammed on the ball joint, so it just kind of pulls it out from the top. I don't care because these are garbage anyway. So I'll get this off and then get this out of here because that I think I may just have to press out. It's never easy, is it? Alright folks. So this is what I was talking about. When I got the knuckle off from the ball joint, the top ball joint stayed in the hole. So I'm gonna have to press it out. So probably be a bit of an adventure. We'll see how this goes. So I'm just gonna use a press here. Slide this guy over. Seat that on there. So the one thing I'm worried about is when this thing pops off, it's going to go flying across the room. So this, for now, I'll cover it in a air rag. What else? What is more protective than that? Yeah. So I'm just going to tie that up and wrap it up so when it shoots out, it's good. All right. Okay, and now we're just going to tighten this up. Alright, and it popped out. So there it is, this little piece of crap right here. That little guy there, it's all popped out. The press works like a champ. Our knuckle is off. Alright, well that's done, and we'll move on to the next bit here. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to drop the front axle because I want to get new upper control arm bushings in place. Take care, folks. See you next time.